Today's podcast is brought to you by McAllister's Deli in Carbondale, featuring some of the best sweet tea in the Midwest, soups, salads, spuds, and much more. That's McAllister's Deli in Carbondale. Hey everybody, Connor Onion here. Saluki Standards episode number 13. Today, talking with a Saluki basketball legend. He wore number 1 from 2000 to 2005. Won 4 conference championships, and went to 4 NCAA tournaments, including the 2002 Sweet 16. It's Darren Brooks, and our conversation begins with The Last Dance about Michael Jordan's Chicago Bulls.
Yeah, I've been watching. I've been checking it out. I missed this past Sunday. I recorded, so I'll probably try and check it out sometime this week. But it's been good. Jordan, one of everybody, I think a lot of people's favorite players. So just kind of get an inside look how he did things, operated. It's been really good.
You were probably in middle school and high school when Michael Jordan would have been in his prime. What did a young DB think of Michael Jordan when you would watch him when he was playing?
Oh man, I just thought he was incredible, man. Just especially like in the fourth quarter. I mean, you knew Jordan gonna get the ball, and he always made a play, man. And so when I was a kid, I'd be in the backyard or playing. I'd count down, the seconds like Jordan and try and take that shot, man. So he just was an inspiration, I think, for a lot of basketball players. I mean, he was the standard.
There can be. You grew up in St. Louis. There can be a little bit of a sports rivalry with some of the other sports, St. Louis to Chicago. But I mean, was that the guy you looked up to? Were the Chicago Bulls your team growing up in St. Louis?
Yeah, they were, especially Jordan. I really like players. Jordan, he was my guy. Like I say, he came through in the clutch, man. Whatever they needed, I feel like he always provided. He was just an amazing player. His work ethic, I mean, I just studied him, and he was phenomenal. He was phenomenal. So he like I say, he could be anything close to Jordan. Like you could just have a little piece of Jordan. I think you can be a great player. And Penny Hardaway was also my other favorite player. So those two were my two basketball idols as a kid growing up.
Do you think you had a little bit of Jordan in your game?
I don't know. I'm not going to say that. But I wanted to take a little piece of it. If I could just be anything close to Jordan, close to Penny Hardaway, I said, man, I think I'd be a decent player if I could just get anything from those two. So Penny was the reason I wore number 1. And like I say, Jordan, his competitiveness, I think that's what really fueled his fire. He just is relentless. He was so relentless and just so determined to win. And I try to take that from him, if anything.
The interesting part about reading about your high school background is that you played some center when you were at Jennings High School. Being a 6'3" guy playing center, how did that usually work out for you? I'm sure guarding bigger people. It
was tough, but I had a good guy on the team, good teammates that would help me out. That would help me out when I get in trouble down low. But mainly, I was probably one of the taller guys on the team. I really was just a big guard out there. So, but it helped my toughness, helped me, defend and like I say, compete and against anybody, big or little. The ultimate goal was try to win. So it just helped, instill in me just to, have that drive and have that fight to help your team, whatever that looks like.
You mentioned MJ and Penny. Those were your two guys growing up. Were there post players that you looked at and tried to steal some things from?
No, not any post players. I really didn't. I really was guard heavy, like I say, Penny and Jordan. I mean, those were my guys. I studied the Magic and the Bulls, and that's all I really watched. So those two guys were special. I saw Penny in person too against the Pacers. He was amazing. He was, a big guard, 6'7", 6'8", and I mean, he was doing things that small guards do. So those two guys kind of stole the show for me.
So you get to Carbondale, and you're more of a true guard by the time you get there. What was the adjustment going from being one of the bigger players on the floor to, being more of a natural guard once you got to college?
It was just the intensity. Division I it was really how hard the guys played on a consistent basis. That's what kind of shocked me. So I had to get used to that speed, the strength. Two guys were a lot stronger than I were. So those were the two main things: the speed of the game and how hard guys played, and the strength. And once I kind of got adjusted and kind of got in the weight room and got stronger, and started to learn the game, the college game more. It really helped me. And like I said, I had good teammates, Jermaine, Kent, Roland, all those guys, Salai, Marcus Belcher, all those guys helped me a lot. And we had great coaches that taught me as well. So all those things combined have really helped me improve as a player.
It wasn't always a guarantee, right, that you would be a college basketball player. It was probably a guarantee you'd play something in college, being a three-sport star coming up. But how much legitimate consideration did you give to maybe playing baseball or football?
I mean, baseball was really, honestly, I was supposed to play baseball. They called me, to be honest. I met Coach Callahan, rest in peace to him, when I came on visit for basketball, and we had a conversation, went out to dinner, and he told me the shortstop was going to be going to the major leagues, and I could step in and play and everything. So that was the plan originally for me to play baseball. I love baseball. I had some minor league teams interested in me, talking about drafting me in the later rounds, but I felt like, going to college and playing basketball and possibly baseball would be a better decision. But when I got to Carbondale, it just didn't work out for whatever reason. Coach Weber, they had other plans, and I'm fine with that. I love basketball more anyway, but baseball definitely was an option for me. I enjoyed baseball too, but basketball eventually just kind of took the lead.
Was there an obvious primary sport for you? Was basketball it, or were you better at one of the other two? That's a good question. Different people have different answers to that. I know my passion was basketball. That was my love. I liked football. I liked baseball. I had opportunities in both, but my heart was really in basketball, and that was my true passion. But yeah, I definitely had some opportunities in other sports. The Braves and the Diamondbacks were coming at you pretty hard, it sounded like. What were the conversations like with the major league teams that were trying to lure you?
Basically, you go to college and play. I get drafted. I had a couple other teams to the Mets. So yeah, I just really was just thinking about the process to get there, just the minor leagues and the long bus rides, and so it was going to be a long road ahead too. So I had to really think about what was important to me. I felt like basketball really truly made me happy. I like baseball, but basketball truly made me happy. And just being closer to home, and so it just made more sense going to college and get my degree. So I think that outweighed baseball. But, I liked it, and I thought about it, and the teams were interested in. But like I say, basketball had my heart.
Not quite as much glamour in those single-A bus rides, are there?
Nah, not from what I was reading and learning. I said, I don't think I want to go that route.
You're a quarterback too in football. Some Big Ten schools were courting you to maybe walk on and play quarterback. How seriously did you consider those?
I thought about it. For football, I had good size. I had a pretty strong arm. I was a pretty big quarterback. So I had options. I thought about it, but again, I had a pretty good senior season in basketball, and I had some opportunities to go to school for free. That was the thing, just to go to get a scholarship for free. And SIU, they came to the table. Coach Matt Painter, he recruited me pretty hard and sold me on what the future could be. And but yeah, I thought about football. I like football a lot. I thought about it, but again, like I say, basketball, just being close to home, a full ride, and I saw the guys that were going to Carbondale, like Stetson Harris and Josh Warren, and I saw Brad Corn was there, Sylvester Willis, Jermaine Dearman, Kent. I felt like we could have a good team, and so I'm glad I ended up going.
It must have been really hard to crack that lineup. You mentioned a bunch of those names that are now kind of known as, Saluki celebrities, Saluki legends, including yourself. But how difficult was it for you to have to redshirt that first year and then be a bench player the second year as a redshirt freshman?
It was really tough. It really was hard for me coming from, like I said, by the grace of God, I had a good senior year. I made first team everything, all state, all metro, and played a year in my conference. So I was expecting to come in and contribute and do some things. So when they told me they wanted me to redshirt, it was kind of like a shot to the gut. Kind of surprised me and like, wow. So it was tough. But those guys, they were pretty good. I mean, like I said, the work ethic and the strength and the speed of the game, they understood concepts of Division I that I didn't learn in high school. So I understood it, but I still was disappointed. But it really motivated me, to prove them wrong, because I felt like they kind of doubted me in a sense, But at the end of the day, I don't think I was ready to contribute in the way that they needed me to. So it made sense, and like I said, it motivated me to get better and work harder, and come back there next year and just try to have a bigger impact.
Like you said, I'm sure disappointing. I'm sure it helped you a lot. But how was that news initially delivered to you that they wanted you to redshirt and sit out that year?
It was frustrating. It was really frustrating. I'm just being honest. I was really upset. Then coupled with baseball too. I'm supposed to play baseball, so that was kind of like it's like a left hook and a right hook, So I was young too. I think I was 17 the first few weeks of college, so I was 18 years old, just trying to navigate through college, being away from home, and get that information. But again, it just motivated me. It just said, well, it's just another more fuel to the fire, to prove people wrong, and prove that you do belong here, and you got a chance to do something. So what are you gonna do? You gonna cry about it? Or you gonna work harder? So I just decided to work harder, and just, in the weight room, I just went even harder, everything, in the weight room, on the court, everything. I just wanted to try to take it up another level.
Did you think what you did that first year as a redshirt would have been enough to get you into that starting lineup as a redshirt freshman?
I don't know about the starting lineup, but I feel I could have helped, especially even the first year. I think we went 16-14. I started like around mid-season, December, January. I started to do better in practice. I even felt then I could have helped a little bit, but I think it was a smart decision because I had a whole year to come back and help on it. Then went to the Sweet 16, so I saved a year and went to the Sweet 16. So I feel like it worked out better than me, playing 8 or 9 minutes as a freshman, and we struggled 16 and 14. So, but I think it worked out. It worked out for the best.
Yeah. Early on, I'm sure you had a chance to grow your relationship pretty quickly with Stetson Harrison, being your roommate. What's your best story with Stetson in those early years?
Oh man, best stories. Well, I just remember him coming in and just working hard, man. Honestly, he outworked everybody. I was surprised just how hard he worked, like in the conditioning. He was winning all the sprints, the long distance running. He just worked and worked. He was a workhorse, man. And I asked him, man, how did you come in? How did you adjust this quickly? And he told me, like, prep school really prepared him for this. I think it was in Maine or Massachusetts or something like that, but they was like in the mountains and climbing hills and all kind of stuff. But his work ethic was at the top, man. So he really stood out, and he started as a freshman, and he surprised everybody. Tyrese Boyer was kind of penciled in as their starter, and he kind of came in and took their spot. So that was the main thing, his work ethic.
What kind of roommate was he?
We ran in and out, to be honest, man. We both had class, practice. Socialized, so he kind of was in and out, but he was cool. He kept the room clean. We got along great. But again, like we were young, we were ripping and running around campus. But it was a good time. We pushed each other at the games. Talk about what we can do to help the team, or kind of talk about our vision. The vision we thought in our little minds, like, well, we keep doing this and we keep doing that. So we had conversations like that. But we just some kids, man, just trying to prepare for our future and what we can do to improve the team and improve ourselves on the court and off the court.
Was you guys room together on the road too, or did you finally get a break from living with each other when you guys were going road trips?
Well, on the road, they would always put you with a different room, different teammate. I think they wanted to build the team chemistry, the bond and stuff. So we always had different roommates on the road. The
identity of Floor Burn U became a thing when you were around. When do you remember that first being coined as a phrase and getting thrown out there within the program and around the program?
I didn't hear it when we were there. After I left, I started to hear that phrase. But it just was built on that backbone of just hard work. We're going to outwork people. We're going to be tough. We're going to defend. We're going to rebound. We're going to do all the things, the little things that don't show up on the box score, but that's going to help you in the long run. So, I mean, that was like our identity. So I'm not surprised that that name was, used for SIU because that was us, the hard hat, our boots, and we're going to come in there, we're ready to work.
Did you expect that to be the identity when you came to Carbondale, or did you expect there to be a little bit more scoring going on when you signed on?
Yeah, I didn't really know what to expect, to be honest. Like I said, I saw the team. I came on my visit. I came and watched the game, and I saw the potential. I said, man, they got a chance to do something special because, what I saw on the court and everything. But I didn't know. I think after that year, we went 16 and 14. I think the coaching staff, they really wanted to do something different, do something unique to try to get us over that hump. And after that season, we probably had 2-3 weeks off, and we started right back working out 6 in the morning, and everything kind of changed, took it up another level. And I saw then like they trying to really incorporate, just hard work and toughness and defense and, all those little things. So that's kind of when it started. And then the next year, Sweet 16, and then from there, we just kind of continued snowball after that.
Did you know that Southern Illinois University awards students $10 million annually in scholarships, has test-optional admission, and in-state tuition for all U.S. residents? SIU offers hands-on, career-focused learning in every major, which are supported by internships and community service and the potential for study abroad and more. Southern Illinois has faculty who bring real-world experience to the classroom and the classroom into the real world. See what SIU can do for you at the next open house. Registration and info at siu.edu/open house. Exploring options. That's a Saluki.
What was the hardest Bruce Weber defensive drill?
Oh, defensive drill. We had to do this drill. You had to play defense like on all the guards. So you guard every guard, full court. So you really don't get any rest. You just defense. I'm guarding, Stetson full court. And then the next turnaround, guarding Jamal Tatum full court. And then next I'm guarding Tony Young. I'm guarding Marcus Belcher. I'm guarding Mike Dale. So you guard, 6-7 guards in a row. They're all quick and, changing directions and everything. So you would do that a few times. So, but every day was hard, man. To be honest, every day. That's what I tell kids. You got to be prepared to work hard every day. Just get used to working hard, and that's what's going to really help you, become a better player.
What would your legs feel like after those early practices?
You said my legs?
Yeah, your legs.
I mean, honestly, sometimes I would literally just fall out at the practice, like lay on the ground, like and on the court, just in the ball, and just sweat everywhere. My whole shirt, my short, everything just wet. But I knew that this is what it's going to take. If I'm not sweating, if I'm not tired, if I'm not, pushing myself, then I won't get better, and we won't get better as a team. So it would hurt in those moments, but, once I left and went home and showered up and, get ice on my knees or ankles or whatever, I knew it was working. So, I mean, if I wasn't tired, it was a problem. So, I mean, looking back, I'm glad I did go through that.
I'm guessing you weren't the only one laying on the floor the way you guys defended.
No. Everybody was tired, but again, we wanted to push ourselves and to get better because we knew we push ourselves in practice. We get to the games, we're gonna be ready. So it was a good thing.
You hear it a lot with artists, whether it's music or maybe actors or anything like that, that they're happiest when they're creating. And I always think of that 02 season as you guys kind of creating the start of this legacy for the program with, no NCAA wins in the program in almost 3 decades. What was it like to be a part of, a team that was around 500 and helping the program make that leap to start those glory years?
It was special. Like you say, to kind of see it form right before your eyes. Like I was there the 16 and 14 year, and then the next year, the Sweet 16. I mean, we shocked everybody. So I saw the work that was put in. We worked very hard, in the summer, in the fall, and then the season started, and then after the season, the spring. I mean, it was a process, and all the guys put in work, and like I said, the coaches, prepared us for every game. Every team we played, we knew everything they were going to do, every play they were going to run, every TV timeout, and everything they prepared us for. So, but it was great, man. We had a great time, and I still remember Texas Tech and then being down against Georgia, coming back, beating them, and then UConn. So it was a great ride, and the city of Carbondale was behind us. And it was just phenomenal, man. I'll never forget that experience and during those early 2000s. It was great.
I went back and watched that Georgia game in the second round a couple of weeks ago, and you guys, you're at the United Center. Of course, there are a ton of Saluki fans there, but Illinois is also playing in that same venue, so you've got a bunch of Illinois fans supporting you guys too. What do you remember about that atmosphere in the United Center that night?
It was a great atmosphere. I felt like fans were rooting for us. Like I said, we were down pretty big in the first half, and they kind of gave us that extra push. I think people like to root for the underdog. We just Missouri Valley School playing these SEC Georgia, but it was loud, man. It was thousands, and we just tried to stick to the game plan, just keep chipping away. Coach Weber just told us keep chipping away. And we just kept chipping, and we got the lead and ended up winning that game. So, but it was just a great environment, great atmosphere, and just a great run that we had. And like you say, just kind of got SIU started. We turned every year after that. We like tournament or if we don't make it to the tournament, we felt like it was a bust season. So that really got us going.
When you guys were down, I remember reading or hearing something about how you were kind of inspired by the upperclassmen on that team, on what was said at halftime and how you guys rallied and just the leadership on that team when you guys were trailing. What specifically do you remember some of the things the upperclassmen were saying to get you guys rallied to come back in that game?
Roland Roberts, man, he was like our voice. He was my guy, man. I didn't want to let him down. I knew it could be his last game, and he was always there for me, man. He helped me on the court, off the court. But he just keep fighting. Don't quit. Don't get down on yourselves. Just keep going. We're gonna keep going. We're gonna win this game. And I just remember, like, man, I don't want to let Roland down. I don't want to let nobody down. So I want to try and do my part. Do what I can do to help us win. So, but yeah, Roland, he was a big inspiration. His desire, his heart, man, and the UConn game, every game. He's gonna block shots. He's gonna score. He's gonna dunk. So yeah, Roland was a big inspiration. He was
a transfer. There were some people nervous about some of the past with Roland Roberts. Did it take some time for him to earn a voice on the team and have that influence that you're talking about?
No, it did, to be honest. I mean, to me in basketball, if you're a good player, people are gonna listen to you. So from day one, Roland came in dunking on people, blocking shots. So he got our attention real quick. Like, whoa, this dude can play. So. He was a great person. Like he was a good teammate. He was a great teammate. You needed a ride somewhere. You needed $20 or something, like whatever. He was always there. So I mean, he was great. Roland was a great teammate, a great person.
You mentioned how you surprised some people. I'm sure on the outside, Texas Tech and Georgia are looking at you guys and who are they? And then you go and whoop them. But how surprised were you guys internally about what you were able to do in 2002?
I mean, to be honest, and I mean this with a humble heart, man. We weren't surprised at what we were doing. We believed that we could do this. We could go as far as we wanted to go, really. Because I mean, when we played Illinois and Vegas that year, I think they were like top 5 in the country at the time, and they beat us like at the end of the game. I think 75-72 or something like that. It was a close game, and so. It's kind of like a moral victory for us. I remember, after the game, we kind of looked at, like, man, it's the number 3 team in the country. Like, we should have beat them. Like, we didn't even play our best, and we were right there. So we kind of rallied after that. Like, man, we can really do something special. I think we beat Iowa State that year, and we beat Indiana. We beat some big schools, but we truly believe that we could beat anybody at any moment. On the right day, we felt like we could beat anybody. So, we weren't surprised. We felt like we can go as far as we wanted to.
What do you miss most about playing in the arena?
I miss like the crowd getting loud, winning games, just seeing excitement. It was a lot of excitement running out that tunnel. So just the camaraderie out my teammates, man, just everybody having fun, everybody celebrating each other for the success, making shots, getting steals, blocking shots. It was a lot of fun. So I just miss that environment.
I'm sure you were, when you go to class, you guys were kind of student celebrities. How often do you have people come up to you and bother you in class about what you guys were doing?
It definitely was an experience. Sometimes you walk to class, sign a couple autographs, or teachers, recognize you, or class clapping for you. Just unexpected things like that. But like I said, you're thankful. I got a ticket. I got pulled over one time, and they took my license, and I remember they ripped the ticket up. They said, "Oh, you're not getting a ticket." They ripped it up and told me to go head on. So just little things like that. It's like, wow, this is really something. But it was a good experience, and I'm glad that the time everybody could enjoy it together. Like you said, it's been a while since the Salukis, I think, had success like that. So to see everybody so excited come together like that, it was a beautiful thing.
Does that still work? If you pull that now, if you pull out your ID?
You're going to give you take this ticket and this when you going to pay it? No, it ain't working now. But, yeah, it was good. I went to go to the gas station, man. Once I went to the gas station one time, and I go in to pay for the gas, and the guy's like, no, you're not. Go fill up your car. So, it kind of hit me. I'm like, man, this is really happening. Like, wow. Like, it was like, wow. So, yeah, it was pretty crazy, but it was great. It was great.
Oh, that's amazing. I bet if you come back to the region, you're in enough Hall of Fames now that you could probably drop your own name and be all right.
No, I try not to do stuff like that, man. It's all good, but it was great, man. It was some great times, and we still talk about them to this day sometimes.
Yeah, 2005, you end up on the cover of Sports Illustrated. D. Brown at Illinois is on the cover, and then there you go. Darren Brooks from Southern Illinois is named as one of the guys that could potentially stop the Illini. What was your reaction when that issue came out and you saw your name and your face on there?
It was just surreal, man. Like I said, the kid from Jennings, St. Louis, small school. I didn't play AAU. I didn't have a lot of fanfare. I didn't, some big AAU star, and I wasn't highly recruited. So for me, it was just hard work and just grinded, and see that happen. Like, wow, this is something really special. It's something that I can always keep and show my kids. Hey, this is how he did this. And so it was special. It was special. But again, it's all motivation. Just motivation to keep working. I never wanted to, get a big head or think I'm better than anybody. I just wanted to keep working and just keep grinding and just trying to help my team win. And that was the main thing. Just keep going. Don't get satisfied. Still more work to do.
You still have that sitting around somewhere, that issue?
Yeah, my mom, she keeps all that. I got it on my phone. Somebody sent it to me a few weeks ago, about a month ago. I got it on my phone today, but my mom, she keeps all those things. She got a few of those magazines at home.
Let's talk about some of the championships you guys won. Winning 4 straight conference titles in the regular season. Which was the hardest in your mind to win? Which of those championships?
Hard, man. Honestly, everyone was hard. None were easy. We always had battles. Creighton, Wichita State. Those two teams, I definitely remember the top two. I feel like we always were battling those two. So every year, every game, it could go either way. So, we just, like I say, just grind it out. We get up, we get down. We got to stay focused and stick to the game plan, listen to the coaches, and keep encouraging each other, strengthening each other. Have each other's back, just trying to stay focused. But none were easy. They all were hard, and they all tired, exhausted at every game. So I'm just thankful that we were able to accomplish what we did.
What was the most difficult part about going to the Sweet 16 the first year and then coming back and winning a conference championship the next year after people knew who you were?
Every year it would get a little harder. The hardest thing for me was like the conditioning, like outside of basketball. Like you wouldn't even pick up a ball, get your running shoes on, get in the weight room, meet us at the track. Like that was the hardest thing. So every year our times, we had the time running or a certain amount of sets. Everything the running would decrease. So now you're running, instead of running a mile in 5:30, you're running in 5:15 or something like that. So in the weight room, instead of doing 4 sets, you might do 5 sets. So that was the hardest thing. Every year they would kind of turn it up a notch. So just trying to reach those goals. But in the end, we knew it would help us in the end. So that was the hardest thing for me.
We mentioned the winning. Of course, the season, unfortunately, did end in a loss when you guys played in the NCAA tournament. Which loss in your career hurt the most?
For me, I would just say the Alabama game. That hurt. We fought. It was back and forth, and I still remember little Petway hit that little floater, and I joke with Brian Turner to this day. Like, dude, why'd you go run out? This dude, he was shooting 18% from three, and Brian go flying out at him, and he shot faked him and drove in, hit a little floater with a few seconds left. So that hurt. I felt like we could have played. I think Stanford was the next game. We could have beat Stanford, and I think Alabama beat Stanford, and they went on to the Elite Eight that year. And I just felt like that was our year. We really could have put another stamp on SIU, and really did something special. But everything happened for a reason. We fought hard. We had a great season. I didn't want to take anything away from the season or that game. We fought hard, and they ended up winning. So
yeah, that would have been 2004 in the opening round, losing by 1 to the Crimson Tide. Sounds like there are still individual possessions you can look back in that game and say, what if, when you lose by 1 point? Is that the case?
Exactly, yeah. That's why, I want to be hard on Brian. I just joke with him because everybody did something throughout the game. I had a turnover. I remember I turned the ball over. Guy went down to lay up. They made some mistakes. We did a couple other things, so, that's part of the game. It's going to be ups and downs. Both sides going to have their runs and stuff, so that's just part of it, but that was the one that hurt me the most. Did
it bother you that you didn't end up getting drafted in the NBA after your senior year?
It did. I was disappointed. Looking back, the NBA, it's kind of like what do you specialize in? Like you're a point guard, or you're a shooting guard, you're a shot blocker. So, I didn't really have a defined position, at that time, and so it was tough. That was one thing that was tough, and I feel like my junior year was really good, and my senior year was good. So I think I could have maybe done more. I could have done more. But again, I feel like everything happens how it's supposed to happen. But now looking back at playing overseas and seeing the amount of work that was put in, like overseas we had 2 a days, 3 a days. So I could have done even more. I could have done even more. You got to keep working. Every day you got to keep working. So, but I was disappointed. But again, like I said, I feel like everything happened how it's supposed to happen. I was actually thankful for the opportunities that was presented to me. So I didn't want to just focus on that didn't happen. I wanted to, be thankful for everything that did happen. Going to school for free, being able to play in college and, win these team awards, individual awards. So I wanted to look at the positives too and not focus so much on that. But yeah, I was disappointed, to say the least.
That's interesting because a lot of people look at you as maybe the best all-around player in Saluki basketball history. The steals, the rebounding, the scoring, the assists. You're top 15 in almost everything in school history. You think some of that balance may have actually hurt you in getting an NBA shot?
I wouldn't say it really hurt me. But I think if you look at like a Kyle Korver, he's a 3-point shooter. He's a 3-point shooter, and some teams, like talking with my agent and playing overseas, they look for certain players. We need a shooter. So okay, let's find a guy shooting 40% from three. We need a quick point guard that can penetrate and pitch. Okay, let's find a quick point guard. So some teams are like that. Some coaches are like that. Some coaches, they want all around players. Like overseas, I had a coach that he really liked me. He said, you can do everything. I want you here as long as you want to be here. So it just kind of depends on the team need and their coach at that time. So, but again, I'm grateful. I'm everything I was able to accomplish. It surprised a lot of people. A lot of people didn't even think that would happen. Didn't believe in any of that. So, like I said, I don't want to take away from that. I'm very grateful, very thankful for all the opportunity I've been blessed with.
Yeah, you're right. You did get to go to some cool places. The Netherlands, Poland, Australia, Germany, Cyprus, and those are some worldly travels I'm sure a lot of people dream of. What was your favorite stop?
My favorite stop was Australia. It was a beautiful, beautiful country. The coach, they offered me, they said, you sign a 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, 5 year deal. It's up to you. This is like mid-season. And man, I think back, like, man, I should have signed like 5 years. And I loved it over there. It was a beautiful place. And but after that, I ended up going to Germany. I like Germany, too, with Australia, man. The beaches was right 5 minutes from my house. They spoke English. It was just a great place.
Did you pick up on any language while you were in any of those places?
In Germany, I did. We had an alpha class for the players once a week. I took the class, so I learned a little German. I went to Puerto Rico too for a few weeks, and I learned a little Spanish over there. So yeah, I had a great run, man. I'm very thankful for all the opportunities, lessons I had. And, just try to now pour back into the kids and tell them they can pursue their dreams and just work hard and for things to happen.
So you could pass as trilingual then.
I ain't gonna say that. I know a couple numbers. That's about it. I'm ordering food. Number 2 or number 3 are trays or lines or something like that. But that's as far as I can go.
Yeah. Finally, DB, your identity as a basketball player was such I'm sure, a big part of your upbringing. Then in college, then you go and do it professionally. When do you know it's time to move on and do something else?
When do you know? I think when that passion, that love is not there like it once was. Maybe I think then when it's not there, I think it's time for you to move on and do something. But for me, I always love the game. I love what it teaches you. It's about accountability and working hard and not quitting. When things get difficult. But I think it's a great game. It teaches a lot of lessons, and it can take you places that you never thought you could go if you really, put your work in and just, give it your all.
Did you struggle with that at the end of your career, knowing when the right time to step away was?
For me, it was kind of easy because I injured my knee when I was in Germany, and it wasn't the same. I couldn't play like I couldn't move and run and play like I knew I could. It still was painful, and it's no fun playing in pain. So for me, I said, man, I can't keep playing. I can't keep playing in pain. I can't run. I can't cut like I need to. I can't play at the highest level, and I know what's required, to play at that level. So for me, it was an easy decision. But I still love the game. I still, like I said, give back and teach and seeing my kids now. Some of them in college now and watching them grow up. It's just a beautiful thing to see.
Yeah. Well, can we expect you back in town at some point?
Oh, definitely. Once all this stuff clears up, I'm gonna head back to St. Louis, and I want to come back to Carbondale. I'm gonna shoot down at Semo too, Cape Girardeau. Brad Cohen got the job, so I'll definitely be back. Carbondale like my second home. They took good care of me and my family. And I got a lot of love for Carbondale, so I'll definitely be back, Sean.